Hello Internet, my name is CP127 and welcome back to Minecraft Infdev. Here we are once again in the Minecraft Infdev world. And yeah, so today's video is going to be a bit of a simple one. Last couple videos, well, I think the last video I was doing storerooms. The video before that I was receiving Christmas presents on the beach. Side note, I have mined out a bunch more sand. Because one of the things I'm going to be doing today, if I just quickly show you all what I've been working on off camera. So, basically what I've been working on off camera is I have been clearing out so many trees. Look, this, I don't know if how many of, I don't know if I actually showed this area off beforehand, but this whole area was covered in trees and leaves do not decay, so I had to clear all the trees out by hand. I mean, there's living proof that the leaves don't decay. Look at those three trees there. None of them have logs in them, so there's living proof that the leaves don't currently decay in this version. And it's like, you know, the leaves don't decay, I've got no access to creative, although let's be honest here, why would I want to use creative? I've got no friends, I can't do multiplayer and have people helping me out. So I had to clear all of these trees out by hand. And I've still got to mine away this hill. What I'm planning to do is mine away this hill and then sort of build a bunch of maybe like little shops and some other small ideas. One idea I had was maybe some kind of a bakery or a bread shop. I don't know. We'll just have to see how things go. But yeah, you can also as well, you can kind of see here where I sort of decided to have a cut-off point, at least for now. And so, yeah, something I will need to do at some point is clear out those trees up there, or at least clear out the leaves, because they kind of block the view of the observation tower from afar. Like if I just go back here and show everyone, 1 second, let's get to the top of the hill. If I go back here and sort of over to here a little bit, I realized that when I sort of went exploring a little bit, one time I sort of explored this lake a little bit at one point, and I turned back around and the tower is actually obscured by most of these trees. You can't actually see where you're going, and hang on, there's a pig down here. I'm actually running a little low on food at the moment, and it didn't drop any pork chops. Wait, there's another one, and oh, what? None of them... Sorry. None of them dropped pork chops. What is that? That's got to be like a record. Like 3 in a row. Oh, that's it. Oh, well. So, yeah, this is something I've been working on off camera. Like, I spent like 5 hours, I'd estimate, today alone, just sort of slowly sort of chipping away. And the thing is, this wasn't even the first time. Like, I attempted this previously, prior to recording the Christmas special, another pig. But yeah, prior to the recording Christmas special, I got a good start on removing a lot of the leaves. Finally, some pork chops. And I got a good start, and then my game sort of froze up, and I had to close it manually without saving. And it was weird actually, because my inventory saved. So I had a bunch of I had many stacks of saplings and I had several stacks of logs, but all the but the world sort of as a whole sort of seemed to have reversed in time by an hour or so because because I'd say I'd gotten about a third of the way through clearing the leaves, and it was basically back to where I'd cleared next to no leaves at that point, and it was really annoying because I'd gotten a lot of progress. But anyway, I've sort of I've gritted my teeth, I've gotten through with it, I've sort of got it done, and well, you can't see it from here, but you get my point. I've gone and done it. So that is one thing I'm going to be working on today, and this is why I've got all the glass, because I think one thing I'm going to do, like an idea I had, is I'm going to be sort of making the path out of a mix of hang on, let me think about this. Let's think about this for a minute. Do we do cobblestone or smooth stone? Let's just... Oh, and it's getting dark. Bit annoying, but we'll have to work through the night. because, well, the other option is hiding in the house all day. So it will start down here at the bottom of these little steps. At least that's what I'm thinking. I might change it later on, to be fair, to be a bit I think one thing I'm considering is sort of removing these steps here and having something a bit simpler, like maybe at the very top here, like where this tree is. If I just dig through here, basically like here-ish, you have the path, and then it sort of goes down in a sort of gentle slope down here. So one idea I had, and this is based off of an old world I had in Infdev, not the world that you've seen on YouTube. This is a different world. For context, they basically generated it in a much earlier version, where the little house you get when you spawn, it has all the chests of items in it. And if I recall correctly, I had a path. I like made some kind of a path while in that world, and one of the things I did in the world was I would have, and basically like it was, I think it was glass going along the middle like this, and then it was lined, I think, with cobblestone like that, I think. Yeah, that seems about right, yeah. And it probably won't look very appealing, but I think, but I have plans for this series. I plan for this series to go on for a long time, so who knows, maybe one day we'll end up in release 1.0 and with the better cobblestone texture that doesn't look quite as awkward. You know, it's not as high contrast, essentially. So, yeah, okay, so basically what I'm going to be doing then for most of this episode is digging out the ground. Yeah, it's a bit annoying that I have to do all of this, and I have to dig this, I'm going to dig it all out 2 blocks instead of 1 block, because then what I'll do is underneath, actually no, I don't need to dig it out 2 blocks fully, I will just dig it out 2 blocks in the middle here like this, and I'll put some smooth stone underneath the glass to just make it a bit more interesting. In fact, I think until we can decide sort of what we want to do with the path here, it's not really worth trying to do anything here because we don't know, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I will at some point probably sort of do the staircase idea where I've got the staircase right going down there. But until then, I sort of need to sort of decide where this is going to start, like where the path will start at least. If we move that torch into there, because that way it's sort of tucked away. Oh, I can't decide now. Tell you what, I'll just start it. I will just start it here, and that way. So I'll start the path here like this, and then if I decide to have it start over there at the bottom of this, then I will just have the path come down here and link up to it. And if I decide to have the stairs going down here from sort of that point over there where that torch is, and then go have that as a staircase going down to here, then it links up as well. So basically, oh, and there goes my shovel! Yay! Let's get started. So I'm going to dig all of this out, and I just remembered this, and there we go. Oh no. Basically, again, I think this might have been off camera. I don't actually remember if I did this in a video. Basically, again, when I started to sort of flatten out this area, I was placing dirt everywhere so that it would all sort of be leveled, and I placed some extra dirt over the sort of gap here, over the chasm, which I have since fallen into while clearing out the trees a couple of times. So, yeah, and funnily enough, the chasm, if that's what you want to call it, continues all the way over to there, where there's some really nice terrain generation, and I can't find a... hang on. I need to find a space to get up. I'll just dig up into the trees for now. Like, you can't see it very well because it's dark, but you can just see there some nice terrain generation in the chasm over there on that area of the chasm. There's also a lot of trees, so it would be an absolute nightmare. It would be very bad to try and like I wouldn't have enough videos um, ready to go if I think if I tried to clear out all the trees down there and then I was also trying to sort of place all the dirt over to that area. I'd definitely get there, but it would take me a while. And then also as well, another issue I would have is that I would have mobs all sort of spawning underneath where, because it'd be really dark. So it would take a long time to do all of that. But I would definitely get there. Is it just, hang on. Sorry, I think I just went a bit funny there, because for some reason it looked like my entire game was rotated a couple degrees. Anyway, so enough delays. We're wasting time, you know, and I believe someone said time is money. Someone definitely said time is money at some point. But anyway, so we gotta just do this constant. So let's start by placing the stone in like this, and what I'll do is I'll sort of do it like this. I'll just sort of place a couple of blocks each time as I go like that. Like, hang on. Like this. So that way, I'm not going to struggle as much. And I'm just thinking, where do we go? Because like I said, I do intend to sort of try and mine all of this sort of little hill here out so that the area is nice and flat. I mean, in theory, it would definitely make... I mean, I suppose it would make more sense to build over a lake, but I figured since my house is so high up, it would be more of a pain. Well, it would be... Well, not much of a pain. Like, I figured it would be more annoying to build over that lake, and also as well, I just like the look of the lakes, you know, in this version, like in this terrain generation, I should say, because we're not on the same version as this. But no, the terrain generation has made some very nice looking lakes, and something worth mentioning is that, yeah, you have that one back there where you do have a coastline, but I think most of the lakes are more like this one, where the land is very elevated, you know. There isn't much of a coastline. There's a tiny bit over there, but there isn't much of a coastline to be had here. Yeah, so I think most of the lake... So I suppose maybe I'll build over this lake, for example, because I'm less likely to get mobs spawning, but I don't know. I don't really know just yet. And anyway, this is all very long-term thinking, really. You know, we're thinking about building over this entire lake. We've got to start. We've barely got any space to build to the lake. You know, we got to build. We got to flatten out all of this area first. So, yeah. So back to the work. Back to the workload. Yep. Back to work, gentlemen. No slacking off today. And so on and so on. Right, so 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. I was wondering, I just heard that because like the walking sounds in this version are a bit different. They're louder, I suppose, than the current ones. So it means I can hear animals and also monsters walking around much easier, which also means I can sort of, you know, I know when someone's about to attack me. I'm gonna just quickly track down to the bottom of this cliff like this and just get all of these like that. There you go. Alright, let's up here, back up. Okay, so now let's head back up and just continue trying to work on this pathway. I'm not too sure on what I want to have in the path, and I probably won't get very much done this episode because I'm not sure where, you know, the path is going to lead to just yet. I'm not too sure about this. So 1, 2, 3, and I think now, yep, we can just do more digging here. I'll dig it in this direction, and then that, because I figure once all of this is sort of flattened out, I'll sort of start building along the side here. Yeah. So you can also see there's a bunch of stone, so Good thing, luckily for me, I've got a pickaxe. Yeah. Oh, hang on. There we go. And so what I'm thinking is, I'll sort of just build a couple of random sort of buildings here. Probably like a little couple of small ideas. I've got a few ideas, but I'm not sort of 100% about any of them at the moment. You know, I think one thing I might try and do maybe is, like I said, what I'm thinking is once I've got a bunch of, like once I can get buckets after the next update to the world, I will be able to turn all of that land there into a big wheat farm, and I figure I may as well have somewhere to store all of the wheat slash bread. I figure like it'll be like a bakery, like I guess if that's what you want to call it. Basically, you know the the place where they make the bread. Ooh, wait, I just had an idea. I'll build a windmill. I'll build a windmill. I'll build a windmill, and that's where I can store all of my bread. Yeah, because like obviously I think most people in the UK, where I'm from, would know windmills as the great big white ones that sort of that sort of create electricity. But originally, back in the day, windmills is how I believe they made like flour and bread and stuff out of wheat. At least I think that's how they did it. I'm not actually sure. So don't quote me on that. But I'm just thinking that would be a good idea. I'll make a windmill. But yeah, I think windmills are a great idea. So that's something I can do sort of once we have... So once I've got buckets, I can make a windmill. Now, I'm going to do it like this, just in case I do inevitably... I say inevitably, just in case I do decide to have it go from there, which does seem to be the better option, I think, but I'm not sure. So until I've made a decision, I will just have it like this, so that way, if I do decide to have it coming from over here, it's, I'm not losing any glass blocks from there. So let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and let's just line this all along with cobblestone like this. And I'll go along to here. Hang on. And dig out some more land. Start lining along this, and just line this bit along with cobblestone. And again, this is sort of, well, this is basically how it's going to be, yeah. And I think if we have it go up to there, and then this is where I think I will start. Well, this I think is where I will have a corner of some kind where I can just sort of try and basically, and this is where the path will sort of branch off back towards the area. Okay, and in the meantime, the path will continue down along there. I think one thing I might do at some point is go out and sort of start looking for... One thing I want to do is... So, the new terrain generation, I should say, in this version, because everything you're looking at, everything with big trees, that was all generated in the version I started the world on, which was released in April 2010. However, as I mentioned previously, I have since upgraded the world to a version of Minecraft that was released to the public in June 2010. And one major difference is new terrain generation. So, and in this new terrain generation you have monoliths, which is that's a pretty famous thing. Monoliths are a very famous terrain generation bug. Probably the second most famous terrain generation bug after brick pyramids, the obsidian axis, and the farlands. Next up, we want to use the glass we've got here, and we're going to place this all down the middle to create a nice little pathway like this. And I think this is... Yeah, I like this. I think this is good. Take a look. Ta-da! And again, I'll place a glass block. Yeah, I'll place it here, and then quickly do this. Like, got it. Okay. And let's continue along here until... Alright, we've reached the end, and just in time because it's getting dark again. Seems to happen very often in this world, doesn't it? It's alright though. No hate. Or something. I don't know. So yeah, basically... So, yeah, that's about it. That's the start of the path, and like I said, as we expand further along, basically I will just... As we expand this further along and build some more things in the world, one thing I will do is expand that path. You know, this is basically the start of a long path. In fact, one thing I'm going to do before this video ends is I'm going to sort of place some more dirt over here that sort of links up to the rest of, so that the area sort of on the other side of the path is flattened out and it sort of meets up with, you know, the tree line there. So basically the trees sort of mark the end, in a sense, mark the end of the, basically in a sense the trees mark the end of the flat land, if you will, and the beginning of the unmodified area, you know, the stuff I haven't messed with yet. So let's continue to just place this all along. Side note, I would just like to mention that in the previous episode I was just trying to figure out, I was just doing a couple of tests in the last couple of episodes. Particularly in episode 12, I was trying to just sort of do some stuff with like the audio, because I was editing the first couple episodes. Like, I was editing some of the early episodes, and I realized the audio, like, the actual game audio was really, really quiet. And then, so I turned it up, so I sort of went into a program, because I'd sort of manually turned it down so it wouldn't be as loud on recordings, like using an external editor, I guess. And basically I went back into that program, turned it pretty much near to full volume, and then I also tried, since I realized that in this version of Minecraft, the music doesn't actually play. It's in the game file. God. It's in the game files, yes, but it doesn't play naturally. So I basically just went onto YouTube and tried to play some music in the background that is, you know, period accurate, I guess. But it was just really, really loud, and you could barely hear me. I haven't edited that episode yet, but when I do, I'm definitely going to try and edit around the really loud sections with the music as best I can, but unfortunately there's not much I can do really to sort of stop it, which is a shame, because at first I was quite proud of it, because I thought, oh, this music's going to be really good, it's going to make everything seem a lot more... Oh god. Oh dear. Oh. Oh, I've accidentally gone back to the title menu. That's not good. Luckily all my stuff is still there, along with a very happy spider. He's doing his own little victory dance. But it's okay, it's fine, we'll just get our stuff back. So, as I was saying, basically, it's annoying as well, because I was quite proud of that episode. I was quite proud, you know, I thought, oh, well, if I was to sort of play this background music, if I play some Minecraft music in the background, then, you know, it'll make the episodes be a bit better. But unfortunately, you know, things didn't quite go to plan, and I probably should have checked before recording an episode, you know, sort of how loud the music was. But unfortunately, you know, it was a bit of a trial and error moment for me, and clearly that was an error. So yeah, so if anyone was wondering why the music was really loud in the last episode, that was why. So there you go. And really, I probably should have just taken more time to actually check that the audio, how it sounded before recording, but oh well. Pedal that next time I go. Ah! I can't hit him, I can't hit him. Okay, he's dead. Oh. I got scared there. Right, I think I'm gonna go hide in my house for the rest of this episode. Or at least until it's a little later in the night, yeah. Until it's closer to the morning. So let's just hang on, let's just get in our house and save ourselves from a certain doom. Yeah, we don't want to get we want to save ourselves from doom. You know, I don't want to be doomed for all eternity. Oh, and I haven't done the hole. I haven't done the hole yet, have I? And I've been going for 30 minutes. Right, tell you what, let's go do the hole really quickly. But other than that, unfortunately, that is going to be the end of this episode. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, but you don't have to. You don't have to comment, like, and subscribe. It's an optional thing. And with this hole drop, that will be the end of this video. So yeah, bye. Lovely.